In this video, we're going to go through all the PI planning inputs plus a very special bonus not discussed anywhere in the Scaled Agile Framework standard website or text, something that I find really invaluable that we can use in the real world. Obviously, we've got like over 100 people all descending and coming together on this PI planning event, whether that be a live event or whether that be a remote event. We've got a lot of people turning up, and so we want to make sure that it's really an amazing event. This is the 13th video in the PI Planning for Beginners series, where I cover step by step everything you need to do to run an amazing PI planning event. Hi friends, I'm Ahmed, a Scaled Agile and Productivity Coach based in the UK. On this channel, we cover productivity, agility, and joy. For the last few months, I've been really focusing on PI planning and making sure that we can get to do a really amazing event. And that reason for that is because one of the most important things when it comes to scaling is to make sure that we have a really good plan that is linked in to our overall vision, to our goals, and to make sure that those goals and that vision is disseminated throughout all of the individuals that you have on your Agile release train. Now, on an Agile release train, you can easily have upwards of 100 people. So we've got a lot of people over here, and we want to make sure that we have our inputs that are coming into this event that are really in a good position. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 key inputs that are essential for having a great PI planning event. Plus, I'm going to walk you through a bonus that I've never covered before. Now, each of these 5 elements have been covered off in previous videos in this series. And so if you want to have more information on any of these 5 areas, there'll be links in the description below where you can actually go and have a look at those in a bit more detail. But I'm covering off this 6th bonus tip, if you like, somewhere I've never covered off in any of my videos, anywhere on YouTube or anywhere else. So stay tuned to the end so you can get hold of that unique insight. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing that we have discussed, and we've discussed this in previous videos as well, is we want to make sure we've got a very clear vision. Now, one of the things that we want to make sure is that it is simple, it's straightforward, but it's also compelling. We don't want reams and reams of documentation, otherwise then that starts to lose its efficiency and effectiveness. And in the previous video that will be linked in the description below and around over here as well, we looked at the example of Amazon, where Amazon vision was to be Earth's most customer-centric company, to build a place where people can come to find and discover anything that they may want to buy. So we copied that, we creatively stole that vision, and we used that as a template or as a inspiration, if you like, for our Justice Inc. vision, which was our example that we've used throughout this series. So if you remember, we had a vision which was to be Earth's most reliable store of legal information, the first place where legal professionals around the globe go to obtain the latest legal information on any topic. Then we took that vision and we distilled it into a goal, and we used our EPIC template. And so if you remember, that is based on an elevator statement. And again, if you need to know more on that, there should be a link down here below in the description or above over here. Okay, so what we had is in this, we had for legal lawyers and legal practitioners who practice law in Australia, and it goes on and explains what is the intent of the EPIC, how does it differ from the current status quo, and what are the unique features of our solution as well. So we covered off the vision and the goals, if you like, for our Justice Inc. example. And then if you look on the screen, you'll actually see that we've got the roadmap. We put together a whole bunch of features, and we put together a roadmap over a period of 3 program increments, right? So if you've got like a standard sort of like say, or typical I should say rather than a standard PI planning event, which is 3 months long or 12 weeks, then that can take you out to 9 months in the future. So if we look at the roadmap that we could be taking in, let's just say this is before PI planning, we'd say, okay, you've got PI 1 over here, and let's just assume we're going to PI 1 planning. Then we've got these 5 features that we're taking in. They're not committed yet. When we walk out of the PI planning event, hopefully these can be committed, okay? Now, clearly, if one of those don't make the cut, then there's a potential for that to move over into PI2, and in that way we keep our roadmap up to date. Okay, now one of the most important things that we have is we want to make sure we've got our features, and on the screen over here you'll see your features over here, and we've got 2 architectural features which we'll just talk about in a moment, and we've got 3 other product features, if you like, and these have been prioritized using the weighted shortest job first. And again, if you want more information on that, please click on the relevant video for that. All right, okay, and also very importantly, now this was our first program increment planning. We may not have enough architectural elements, so what we do have is we put 2 architectural elements that need to go in first. These form our architectural runway. This is the basis, the foundation upon which all the functional features that are going to be coming later are going to be built upon. So that's basically why they're at the top of the backlog. So the architectural runway, outlining what that is, it should be something, a recurring theme through every program increment planning, and something you want to guide the teams. This is our architecture. This is what we intend to be building in the next PI, and this is how we will utilize the existing infrastructure that you have. And where there's anything needs to be, shored up or needs to be added, then you would add those in as enabler features. All right, okay, so we've gone through the 5 key inputs into your PI planning event in a good amount of speed. So let's go over to bonus number 6 now. And this is something that I find to be incredibly useful. And this is what I call the feature team matrix. And this is basically where we have got a very simple matrix. It could be typically use a spreadsheet. And what we have is on one axis, we've got the features, and on the other axis, we have the teams. And what we see over there is we've got a mapping between the features and the teams. Now, the use of this is that when a team comes in to their PI planning event, they can go and they can actually see which features they are responsible for actually delivering, or which features that they need to contribute to. So if you look on the screen over here, you can see here's an example from a previous PI planning event. On the right hand side, you can see there's a feature team matrix. On the rows, you can see the features, and the columns, you can see the color. There were teams that were named by different colors, and you can see the different colors of the teams over there. And in that way, it'd be really easy for the red team, for example, to see which features they need to contribute to, and indeed which features they're owning as well, because in this feature team matrix, you can also put owners, or whether you're owning something or whether you're just contributing to it. So there you have it, 6 essential inputs into your PI planning event. Really try and make sure you get the inputs right. You know what they say, garbage in, garbage out. You want to make sure you've got really great inputs coming into your PI planning event, and so you can have an awesome PI planning event and an awesome PI plan, so that you have a great PI execution and you can deliver on the results and the goals that you wish to achieve. So I hope you find that useful. Till I see you next time, love learning, keep growing, and don't forget to bring the joy. Take care and see you later.